Tonight on Size Eyes on the Skies.
We've had a pleasant day here across central Iowa after a chilly and blustery Monday afternoon. Here's a live look from the Memorial Union Skycam. You can see temperatures this afternoon have warmed up to near 60 here in the Des Moines metro area. A lot warmer air out to the west, and that will be pushing off to the east. We'll talk more about how long these warmer temperatures will last and when our next chance for storms will arrive.
Plus, we'll have a look at the national forecast. Size Eyes on the Skies for Tuesday, April 26th starts now.
Broadcasting live from the studios at Hamilton Hall at Iowa State University, the Iowa State Meteorology Department brings you the latest weather from across the country and out your front door. This is Size Eyes on the Skies.
Now for tonight's weather story. On this day in 1938, a mile-wide, likely F5 tornado lasted for 25 miles and traveled through Garden City, Nebraska. A teacher and their students were standing outside the schoolhouse watching the skies when the tornado dropped right near them. The teacher's car and nearby house were lifted from the ground and the school disintegrated. 3 of the students were killed in the tornado. Also on this day, in 1989, Kansas City reached temperatures in the low 90s, and those temperatures lasted throughout the week. To discuss more on what's happening around the country, here's Danny with a look at our national forecast.
Thank you, Madeline, for that riveting story. A couple of headlines here nationwide. We have fire weather occurring right now on the plains due to some dry conditions and very gusty winds, freezing the Ohio Valley, especially for this time of year, late April. We still have some freezes to worry about, and a little bit of precip in New England, although not very active. All of that and more coming up for your national forecast.
Now let's have a look at what's happening around the nation with Danny.
Good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Danny Cassidy. Well, a live look at satellite and radar here across the nation. We have a high pressure dominating the central area. That's why you see not a lot of cloud cover, nor much precip. Have a little bit of a low disturbance here in the mountains, seeing a little bit of rain, maybe some mixed precip. But the big story, well, at least in terms of active weather, is this low pressure system off on the east coast. You can see a little bit of a band of storms going up along Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. That's going to keep making its way eastward, maybe rain for the next couple of hours. Otherwise, it's pretty inactive across the nation, especially in terms of severe weather or any even snowstorms. We don't have a lot going on. Temperatures right now, 43 in Minneapolis. Again, so we have some of this cooler air. That's why we have some of that freezing occurring. So this kind of cool air will kind of make its way to the south and to the east. And I'll show you that in a little bit. We have some freeze warnings and frost advisories out. Off to the southwest here, it'd be nice to be in Phoenix. 97 degrees, quite a contrast to the northeast, especially where you have those lower 40s and upper 50s. But take a look at the central plains. So we have kind of the mid 60s, lower 70s. Combine this with the drought monitor. So you can see these dark reds. So up to my right here, these are exceptionally dry areas, especially in Oklahoma, northern Texas, basically the western half of the Mississippi River. You have a lot of dry conditions, and you mix this with very windy 30, 40 mile per hour gusts, and you get some fire hazards. So this pink area into Nebraska, Kansas, stretching down into New Mexico, these are red flag warnings, which basically mean you're at a high risk for fire weather. These kind of tannish colors, these are wind advisories, so there you could also have some fires there too, although not as great of a risk. Off to our north here, so that's the Fargo River there, so they have a lot of, or the Red River rather, so they have a lot of flooding going on there. And then the big story here is we do have our growing season. However, we're not off to a great start, especially with these cold temperatures. So these light blues here, that frost advisory, and then the darker blues here, especially near Indiana and Ohio, these are the freeze warnings. So that's actively what's happening around the nation in terms of warnings and watches. And so basically what's happening here for the next couple of days, so right now we're in a bit of a ridge pattern here over the central plains. That's why we have that dry weather. and some windy conditions. Over the next couple of days, we might see some precip kind of sneak in here to the middle of the country, and off to the northeast here, you can see kind of that low circulating. That's where the precip is going to be for the most part, but again, pretty dry across the nation. Maybe a little bit of snow here up towards Montana and Wyoming. Otherwise, pretty boring week for us. And after this system kind of moves through, we do have a little bit of a chance for rain for our weekend, although we aren't expecting much severe weather for most of us here in the Central Plains. So looking at Futurecast here, how this aligns. So again, Tuesday at 6, again, a lot of these dry conditions are going to stay through much of the country. You can see some of this precip off to the New England area. That's going to roll through Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Again, 6:30 here Wednesday morning. Again, a lot of dry conditions. Again, those winds are going to move through and giving us a good chance of fire weather. Wednesday at 5, they do see a little bit of relief here. So you see that low that was off to our west. That does make its way east. You can see a little precip here that might give them a little bit of relief. And off to the northeast here, we can see this big low pressure system giving us rain mixed in with some freezing rain and some snow. Other than that, though, it does stay pretty dry. Maybe a little bit of snow off to our west here in areas like Oregon, Montana, and Wyoming. And then for Thursday night here, more locally, here in Missouri and Iowa, they could see a little bit of chance of some precip and maybe some storms. Although no expected severe weather, maybe a marginal risk, maybe hail and wind reports here and there, but nothing too big. And then by Friday at 1:30, there's that next system that moves through. Again, maybe a slight chance or maybe a marginal risk of severe weather, although nothing expected to be too great here. Rainfall forecast, we got absolutely nothing. That's fantastic. Let's go to the snowfall here. So Friday by 2 p.m. So again, the biggest chances of snow are going to be in Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho. And then off to the northeast where we had that system moving through Tuesday night into Wednesday, Maine and into Quebec area, they could see the greatest chances for snowfall. Our forecast city here is going to be Billings, Montana, one of those cities for a chance of snow. So again, they could see it Thursday night into Friday, see some of those temperatures dip down into the lower 40s and then upper 50s. And by the end of the week here, next week, we see temperatures hover around the mid-50s.
Thank you, Danny, for that forecast. Now let's take a look at tonight's trivia question. What is Trey's favorite weather event? A, Super Tuesday, B, the 2011 Super Outbreak, C, Hurricane Harvey, or D, the August 10th Iowa derecho? We will have your answer coming right up. But first, Jacob will present a Weather Explained on tropical cyclones.
Hello, I'm meteorologist Jacob Steester. As you see here, this is our hurricanes for this year, 2022. Quite exciting. Going back through them quick. Currently, we're in a La Niña condition. That means that we have colder temperatures here over the Pacific, and studies have shown that with hurricane season, La Niña years increase the chances of cyclones. Here in the Gulf, we also have warmer waters, which is helpful for generating hurricanes. It is known that around 26 degrees Celsius or 78 degrees Fahrenheit, you can generate these nice, is comparable to generating hurricanes. And right here we have temperatures well into the 30s. Luckily though, hurricane season does not start until June 1st, so we still got some time till the atmosphere gets unstable enough and before we can have cyclones. So that is how cyclones are going on right now, and that is how hurricane season's looking.
Thank you, Jacob, for teaching us about tropical cyclones. Now let's have a look at the week ahead with Trey.
Well, we do have much nicer conditions here across central Iowa this afternoon. A live look from the Memorial Union Sky Cam showing those clear skies that we have in place across the region. Here's a look at my weather headlines for this week. We have mild temperatures, a nice change to compare to all the cold weather that we've had recently. But like we've seen numerous times this spring, whenever we get that warm up, we do have that chance for storms that will be coming back as well. And an active pattern will likely stick around in the next week. We'll talk about that more coming up in the full forecast.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes, but with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Welcome back to Size Eyes on the Skies. Let's talk about our drought monitor right now across the state. As you know, the last couple of years, we've been in a pretty significant drought here across the state, but we've seen a lot of improvements here recently with all the rainfall. You can see slight to moderate drought here across parts of central Iowa. Live look right now from the Memorial Union Skycam shows that we are at 56 degrees right now. You can see the pressure is currently at 32.25 inches, falling and then starting to rise there with that area of high pressure moving in, and it feels like 56, thankfully, with all those calm winds. Here's a look at temperatures across the state. We've seen quite a big gradient here across the state this afternoon, 43 for you in Decorah, but you go over here to the Missouri River Valley, 70 for you in Sioux City, and we're currently sitting in the 50s right now across the Ames and Des Moines area. Here's a look at the satellite radar picture. Not a cloud in the sky here across central Iowa. We're all watching a few cirrus clouds spread in from the west, but overall no clouds or precip to really impact your weather. Overnight tonight and into the morning hours tomorrow, we'll watch a few cirrus clouds spread in, but skies will be mostly clear during the overnight hours. But we start to see more clouds spread in throughout the day tomorrow, and that's going to ultimately lead us into our next chance for showers here as we get into Thursday. This is kind of a pre-system coming in ahead of the main system that we're going to watch, but you can see up to the north here, mainly north of Highway 20 up the I-35 corridor, could see a few scattered showers and storms Thursday afternoon and Friday. And then Friday morning, we start off overcast, and these clouds are just filtering in advance of our next system that will bring in quite a bit of chance of rain as we get into Friday. Overnight tonight, a low of 36 degrees, so no freeze to be concerned about tonight. And then here are your forecast highs for tomorrow. You can see quite the gradient here across the state. 40s up to the northeast in Decorah, 64 here in Ames, 68 for you in Carroll, but you can clearly see what looks to be a warm front here draped across the southern half of the state. If you want the warm air, head down to the southwest. Here's a look at the temperature forecast for the day tomorrow. You can see we're going to make it up here to 64 degrees here in the Ames area, and we're starting to get back closer to average here, so definitely some milder conditions compared to where we've been. Here's a look at the week ahead. We have showers coming in on Thursday, and then here comes that next system Friday into Saturday. We're going to keep a close eye on this system as well because it depends on how unstable we get as to whether we could see a chance for strong to severe storms. So keep up to date with Iowa State weather.
Thank you, Trey, for that forecast. Let's review tonight's trivia question. What is Trey's favorite weather event? A, Super Tuesday, B, the 2011 super outbreak, C, Hurricane Harvey, or D, the August 10th Iowa derecho? I don't know, y'all. What do you think?
Well, considering it's Trey's question, I don't think he should answer, but Trey, maybe want to give us a little bit of a hint?
One of those is a tornado event. So.
At least one.
Okay.
So difficult.
So, you know what? I'm just going with a hunch here. I'm going to go with the 2011 super outbreak. I don't know. I turned 11 that year, so, like, you never know.
You did. Jacob, what do you think?
I think Trey's trying to pull a fast one. I'm thinking Super Tuesday.
You think Super Tuesday? Yeah. You know, I'm gonna go with Danny on this one. 2011 feels right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, one of those was a tornado event, and if we look at our answer here, Super Tuesday.
The Super Tuesday. Good work, Jacob. Yes.
Yeah, that was the event that really got me started in the meteorology. Great broadcast meteorologist in the Memphis, Tennessee area that inspired me to get to where I'm going now.
And we are thankful for him.
Yes.
Absolutely. Much agreed around.
Well, that concludes tonight's show. Please be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You can find every show on YouTube under our Size Eyes channel. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you later. Have a great night.